What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode 17 of the Manchester United Career Mode. And in this episode we're about to find out who we've got in our Champions League group. Group A, as you can see, we got Juventus and Atletico Madrid. Group B, Inter, Sevilla, Sporting Lisbon, Shakhtar. It's a very tough group, that group there. Oof. Liverpool, Dortmund, Lazio and Dynamo. It's not Kiev, it's Kiev or something. We've probably pronounced it wrong. Real Madrid and Leipzig taking in Group D. Barcelona, Monaco, PSV, Posen in Group E. So no PSV for us this year. Man City, Napoli, Mönchengladbach and Celtic. I'm pretty sure that was a group in real life. Maybe not Napoli, but definitely Mönchengladbach, Celtic and Man City. There was maybe, I think it was Barcelona was the other team in it, I'm sure. Group G, if it moves, is us, Bayern, CSK, we get two of the same team as we got last year. That's not as fun. Take out Galatasaray, put in PSV, you may as well give us the same bloody group. Apologies for the language. And in Group H we go, and PSG, Chelsea, Spartak Moscow and FC Basel. Moving ourselves on though, to look at the early calendar, because we don't want to spoil too much. And for this episode, we should be playing... We'll be playing up to at least the Leicester games. So 5 games in this episode: Aston Villa, Galatasaray, Arsenal, Coventry and Leicester City. As you can tell, my notes were nowhere near me there, and we struggled a bit to remember what we were doing. Into a youth intake though, and the Koreans once again not really giving us too much. This is probably even here, like another player saying they're 94, could go up to 94 rated, but just looked like far too much work. And also the Serbians also not really fitting the bill for being that top level category that I expect from youth, and what Manchester United would be expecting from their youth players. Moving straight though into the first game against Aston Villa. Pretty sure we done double over Aston Villa last season. And we start very quickly here. Harry Maguire getting his first goal of the season with a header from a corner as we take the early lead. However, Aston Villa decided they were not here to roll over. Bertrand Traore managing to make his way, cut through the box, and somehow Pau Torres gives away a penalty. Pau Torres really likes to give away penalties, and I'm really questioning why we keep him if he's just got a penalty magnet, as Traore steps up and misses. That is the 4th penalty. No, it's not, because Havertz scored, that's a lie. But that's 4 out of the last 5 penalties that haven't even been made on target, as Paul Pogba really should have put us 2-0 up on the half-hour mark there. Going into the second half, and Aston Villa started definitely better. Aston Villa were actually playing really good. We were struggling to get an edgewise, and Adam Lola, look in here, what a great run this is. Don't know what Dallas doing, he plays the cross in, he gets lucky, the ball to come back to him, and he smashes it home past Jan Oblak for Aston Villa to equalise at Old Trafford. However, we were not to be denied in this game. Bruno Fernandes, not very long after, managing to work the ball through alongside Ings and Sancho, and as Danny Ings gets to the breakaway, we cut inside and curls it past Emiliano Martinez in the Aston Villa goal for us to lead 2-1. And that being Danny Ings' 4th goal already. He's definitely proven to be a good player. Jack Grealish then came on against his former side and caused a little bit of havoc as he set the ball up for Danny Ings, and Emiliano Martinez makes a great save to stop us from making it 3-1. So 2-1 is where the game finished, and solid win. Wasn't a great performance, but you know what? We'll definitely need to make sure we're taking the wins as we head off to Turkey in a match against Galatasaray in the opening Champions League game. Well, look at their team. I don't know if they've got these players in real life. I'm pretty sure Marcal actually plays in the CSL. Nope, different Marcal. I'm thinking of the striker, that's the defender. Diagne up front, Faguli, former West Ham player. Luyan Dama, the Belgian international. Is he in that cap? I don't know. Galatasaray definitely did start the better side. I do love the Galatasaray kit as well also. I'm a Motherwell fan up in Scotland, so it's very similar colours. And they definitely did make good chances. Mason Greenwood though getting in for an early chance, and Paul Pogba somehow does not put that rebound into the back of the net. Immediately after though, Galatasaray did go back up the park to have another chance. like I said, they were definitely causing me some issues, and it was Mitsu, Jan Oblak making a big save there. And Mitsu was definitely the player that I'm pretty sure I don't want. I'm trying to remember what his nationality is, and I wanted to say Danish, but is he Norwegian? Never mind. We get a very odd handball penalty, and for once a penalty isn't just missed. Oblak saving with his legs and keeping the score at 0-0. 15 minutes into the first half. In the second half, Paul Pogba misses an absolute great chance. Two chances, really, I think he's missed now, to get us into the score lead. Into the lead. However, good forward defensive pressure did allow us to get another attack very, very quickly. Just after the hour mark, Jadon Sancho scores after a lovely little dummy from Paul Pogba to allow the Englishman to score his second goal of the season, first Champions League goal. Not long after that, nearly get the goal from the corner, the ball falls to Alex Telles, has a strike and ends up in the back of the net. However, Pau Torres is the one celebrating. What? Definitely have a look at this replay, because I genuinely thought Alex Telles striked this at goal. So the ball gets cleared, drops to Telles, hits it. Oh! You know what? It definitely does look like he took a nick. I thought he'd struck it clean. Not probably a bad strike from Telles, and Pau Torres getting his boot to the ball, steering it into the bottom corner to give us a 2-0 advantage as the hiccups come back. Jadon Sancho should have made it 3-0 though, just in the 90th minute. Somehow smashes the crossbar, and the follow-up from Greenwood is blocked, and that is where the match does eventually finish. 2 goals in 12 minutes gave us this game. Galatasaray definitely did put in a strong performance, so they definitely deserve all credit to them as well. Moving off to the Emirates, kind of miss Highbury to be honest. Moving to the Emirates Stadium, as we have a little look at this Arsenal scene. Starting Bernd Leno, so they gave us 40 million, basically gave us nearly 35 million for a goalkeeper that they're not even playing. Very much looked like a very standard Arsenal side. Gerard Moreno, of course, up top. Sule and Bernat and Montiel. Palhinha, obviously, actually more different players than I thought they did. And once again, really recently, it's taking almost to the half-hour point till we've really seen any decent chances. Bruno Fernandes leaving the defender for dead and smashing that ball into the bottom corner. Bruno's 4th goal of the season already. Him and Ings definitely sharing a lot of the goals so far. Definitely looking at golden boot potential for them as well. Mason Greenwood, lovely little bit of skill there, sent it back to Max Aarons. Ruben Neves tried to play it back to Rice as Telles, and eventually this ball falls to Rice, and Bernd Leno makes an absolute great save. Moving on to the next part, obviously, get the corner in. Jack Grealish goes for a shot, and it is saved by Leno. And we're going to say it with me. When your header's absolute great header there for Ben White to get it to Greenwood. It's back to Fernandes, back to Greenwood. The ball is crossed in for Jack Grealish to head home at the post. Well, Mason Greenwood then, however, celebrates, because sadly, Jack Grealish was not the one to score that goal. It was in fact an own goal from Gonzalo Montiel. In the second half, though, however, we do win a penalty, a long-range strike hitting the arm of Rob Holding. I did think I was going to have a closer look at this to see where his hand was. However, when we see the natural replay, we just see he goes arm first towards the ball, and he pushes his arm out. Definitely arm to ball rather than ball to arm, and as a penalty for Bruno Fernandes to potentially score his 5th goal of the season. I forgot to say series for some reason there. He does score, bottom corner, try to change it up. Too many top corners get saved at the moment, and we do make it 3-0. Just before the 80th minute, Arsenal do get a chance. They play in the header, and the ball falls to Martinelli, who a lovely chest and spin shot. Honestly, if he had scored that, I'd have probably made my end of season highlight reel. Like, absolute beautiful attempt from Gabriel Martinelli. However, right afterwards, we managed to get the ball to Fernandes, flicks it on through to Dennis Mann, who puts that ball in the back of the net, and suddenly it was 4-0 Manchester United at the Emirates. If we had more time, I'd have tried to have went for 8, but we didn't. Soon after, though, we do in fact have more chances lining up. Dennis Mann holding this ball up very, very well. Ball comes to James. Very lovely passing move as the ball was then crossed in, and nobody taking that goal away from Jack Grealish this time. He smashes it home for 5-0 Manchester United, and Arsenal were all at sea. Arsenal do manage to, though, get a goal back in stoppage time. Rob Holding, the player at fault for the penalty for us to go up 3-0, does manage to put one goal. Captaining Arsenal, by the way, as well. To at least lower the arrears, but still 5-1 against a big rival. Not exactly great. Moving straight in, though, to the Coventry match in the Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup, I don't really. It's one of the trophies nobody really cares about. Let's face it. As Fernando Nino rises highest at a corner in the first half to put us 1-0 up. But it's one of those trophies like, yeah, cool. But there's an FA Cup, there's a Premier League, and there's a Champions League. European football is football is where it's at. The Scottish in they coming through. As not long after Nino had scored, Daniel James there puts us into a 2-0 comfortable lead. Coventry not exactly offering far too much at this point. They do get a chance just at the half-hour mark, though. Dodgy penalty decision getting given here. Does hit his arm, but it's down, it's low, and it does be Hamer who steps up to hit it against Kasper Schmeichel, who gets 2 big hands on his first match for us to make sure that stays out. Schmeichel, the penalty god. After that, though, the game sort of went into a lumber, and not too much was happening as we came up towards starting to get towards the end of it. My youngster here, Stansett Tarapu, who I showed in the first game we signed the free, flicks the ball in, and there's Dennis Mann with an absolute glorious header into the top corner to make it 3-0 to Manchester United. And that was where this game ended, at 3-0. Nice to see the new players I brought in scoring the goals as well, to prove that they're definitely the players that should be here for when we start getting players too old and start selling. Anyway, in the last game against Leicester, Leicester are normally quite a tough side to beat. We had struggled against them in the first game last season, and then the second game I think we punished them 3-0. Definitely a hard team sometimes to break down, and this game was absolutely no different in that retrospect. As Mason Greenwood had a shot there, absolutely you'd put your house on Mason Greenwood scoring there, but the ball is cleared. Well, after, as I say, win those headers, we get the ball up to Danny Ings, finds that ball through to Bruno Fernandes, somehow smashes off the bar and post, and the follow-up header is saved by Danny Ward. How had we not scored here? Look at that, hits his head and goes over the bar. Unbelievable stuff here. Not long after that, Mason Greenwood gets a good run through. He hits a strike and Danny Ward tips that over. Absolutely pepper on his goal. The man was absolutely having a great time. But obviously, you know what happens when you don't get those chances? You're going to end up losing out. As Aguero hits a shot and it's saved. Turns out it was actually offside, but I wanted to show at least Leicester having a chance. Then we get the ball through. Jack Grealish cuts the ball back for Declan Rice. The ball's just ping-ponging about. Try to keep a hold of it. Man plays it back for Neves. Declan Rice again with another block shot. The goal was living a charmed life, but it was just so hard to break through until Grealish finally gets through and slaps a shot past Danny Ward to finally make it 1-0 to Manchester United in this game. And that was what... we do get one more chance to give Danny Ward a highlight. Declan Rice, boom, yep, there we go, another save for Danny Ward, but that was where this game finished. Leicester not really in it, and Ward was cracked, utterly cracked to that point. Don't know if it had been noticed, but Aguero and Benzema both play now for Leicester. Let's keep that in mind next time we see them. As we look at it, we are top. Us and Spurs are the only undefeated sides. We are 2 points clear of Spurs at this point in time. Liverpool all the way down in 11th. Keep that in mind as we look to the bottom of the league where we're still seeing Leicester, West Brom and Derby now, the only teams without a win. When will these sides see a win? They're lucky the teams above them have not been playing great. They're still in with a chance to at least rise the table, but those chances will be falling very thin in coming weeks. Anyway guys, that's this episode of the Manchester United Career Mode. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.